So for the past few days, I've been interviewing over the phone prospects for our Speakers Apprentice relaunch, which we're now relaunching since COVID is hopefully mostly over, and companies are opening back up to speakers. And I always find it very interesting that I've got about 600 and something people that applied for the apprentice program, and so I try to go through the applications and pick out the ones that I think have the best chance for success. And it's always interesting to find when you talk to people how almost all of them think that becoming a professional speaker, it's like you're just like applying for a job and you like show up at a company and they pay you to speak when you have no experience and no training or anything like that, and they're just going to pay you all this money to speak. It's not like that at all. So if you want to break into the professional speaking business, just know right off the bat that it's basically like going to Hollywood or LA and saying, hey, here I am, I want to be an actor, put me in movies. It doesn't work like that. There's a whole process, and that's why I have the Speakers Apprentice program. But that program's not for everybody. That's for the most serious people that are totally dedicated to becoming professional speakers. They're very ambitious people. My last two apprentices have made in the last year $2 million and $6 million respectively. So these are very serious people. But if you do want to speak for fees, if you're not as serious enough to be an apprentice of someone and go through that process for a couple of years, I recommend this book called How to Become a $1 Million Speaker, Steve Siebold's story. This was written by a guy named Elliot Saltzman out of St. Paul, Minnesota. He followed me for a year on the road, backstage at book signings, to television interviews, radio interviews, at home, on the road, in airports, you name it. He did a great job detailing what it's like to become a $1 million speaker and live the life of a $1 million speaker, because it is a very, very, very unique business. There are less than 100 people in America that make a 7-figure living as non-celebrity professional speakers. So it's a very, very small group of people that does this for a living. That doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it's unique and it's very different. And this book really takes you on the inside of the process. You can buy it on Amazon. I'm not sure how much it is, $12 or $13, $14, or you can download the ebook for free, which I'll put in this post, and just as my gift to you to check out whether this is something you really want to do. And if you want to do it, just because I've been on these phone calls with all these prospective apprentices, if you want to do this, just understand that it is possible. Okay, it is possible to become a highly paid professional speaker as a non-celebrity, but you will have to pay your dues. This is not like going to Home Depot and applying for a part-time job. Okay, this is something very few people succeed at for a reason. And if you have the opportunity to have inside information about the business and you're willing to work at it, well, then you can succeed at a fairly high level, depending on your talent and your training and all that. Make sure you get professional training. That's in the book as well. Get professional training. You can't have amateur speech training and give fee-paid speeches for $10,000 and $20,000 a speech. It doesn't work like that. You've got to be good. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to be professionally trained to do that. All of us who have made good money at this are all professionally trained speakers. So something to think about. Download the book if you like, or get the softcover book on Amazon and dig into this, and it'll give you a behind the scenes of what this is like, and then you can decide if this is if you think you'd enjoy this for a living. And that's what I'll close with, and that's what I've been telling these apprentices, because I think they all think I'm trying to sell them something, and that's the last thing I'm trying to do. I'm actually trying to disqualify them by saying things like, and this is what I'll say to you to think about, before you think about the work it takes, the time it takes, and all those things, ask yourself this question: is this something I really want to do? Because if it is, it's going to take everything you have, even to do it part-time. If you're just starting part-time, which you can, that's the way to do it, I think. It's going to take a lot of effort, and so when you get to the top of the mountain, are you going to want this? Is this the kind of lifestyle you want? That's why I'm giving you this book, because you'll see inside. You'll see inside the business of what it's like to be on the road to the professional speaker. And then you can ask yourself, hey, do I want that lifestyle? Do I want this kind of a life? And if you do, it's wonderful. I've enjoyed it for 25 years. I've loved it. I still love it. It's fantastic. But it's not for everyone, for sure. So hopefully the book will help give you some inside information on what it's like, and then pursue your dream accordingly.